How to know if your manifestation is just about to happen or if you are more or less where you were when you first started manifesting it. It's quite easy to check when you know what to look after, and this is a tool that you have with you at all times. So when the doubt comes up or the curiosity comes up, you know what to look after. That's what I'm going to share with you in this video. If you need a more personalized help with your manifestations, you can book a one-on-one coaching session with me from the link in the description box below. I would love to help you with anything that you are manifesting. On the other hand, if you need a more consistent support that is far more accessible, please send me an email and you can join my Master Manifestors Mastermind group, which is a group coaching program where we meet every single week and I help you with your specific manifestation and your specific situation. So let's talk about how to know where you are in your manifestation. Let's call it a process. I often mention that when you are manifesting anything, people, objects, anything, that manifestation in reality has nothing to do with them. It has all to do with you. What does this mean? This means that the 3D is going to conform. The person you are manifesting is going to conform. The money you are manifesting is going to come to you. It's not that you are being delusional or it's an illusion that money came to you or whatever you might think about the 3D. We often hear the 3D is an illusion, etc. The 3D is not an illusion. The 3D is a mirror. It's a mirror which is showing you what you are constantly dwelling on. Thinking, imagining, assuming, believing, the stories you're telling yourself, everything that is going on in your mind on a consistent basis. That's what your 3D is showing you. Which means that when you are manifesting anything to change or happen in the 3D, you need to go back to the source. The source is your own mind. And when anything needs to change in the 3D, specifically if you want a lasting change, which of course you do, that change needs to happen in you. And you're probably already guessing what I'm about to say. So let's take the example of manifesting a specific person, because I know that many of you are. When you are looking at the person and the person hasn't changed, I would ask you, have you changed? And how do you know if you have changed? What is it in you that needs to change? Because something in you needs to change in order for them to conform. What needs to change is the stories you're telling yourself, of course. And with the stories that you are telling yourself, there comes a feeling. So you can go after the feeling. Are you constantly anxious and in doubt? That's telling you that you're coming from lack. What do you believe about the person? What do you believe? What do you think at all when you think about the person or the relationship? And the same is true for anything else that you're manifesting. It can be money, it can be the house, it can be your own health. Literally anything. The same applies. You are the first one who needs to change. So whenever you have this doubt, and by the way, if you are in constant checking the 3D to see if something is happening, constantly in the mood of, or in this mode of, why is nothing happening? Where is my manifestation? It has been a long time. That's telling me that you are constantly in the lack state. You need to stop that. That state won't manifest your desire, because you're constantly telling your subconscious mind that I don't have my desire. So if you are in that state, you need to pull yourself out of it and go back into imagination and stay there in your end goal. But I know that many of you are actually doing that a lot. You're doing your techniques, you're doing whatever you either hear that works, or you have chosen a technique that you want to apply and you do apply it, and yet nothing happens. If this is you, I will need you to go inside and be really, really honest with yourself. What do you actually believe about the situation? And don't get scared from the word belief, because belief is trained. That is the purpose of your affirmations. That is the purpose of your imaginal acts and whatever else you are doing in order to manifest. The purpose of it is to rehearse and reintroduce, that was the word, reintroduce the idea of already having your desire, or already being the person who has the desire, enough times so that your mind gets so used to it that now it's normal for you. You get into this normal state when you think about, let's say you were in a really bad place with your SP and you trained your mind into being in a beautiful relationship with your SP, and now that you're thinking of them, it automatically brings you to this place. You are in that beautiful relationship, you treat each other well, you are both happy, and that's what you are manifesting. If that's what comes to mind, you're doing a great job. This is what you need to look after. If it's not, there's a big chance that you are doing back and forth. And that is what causes exhaustion. That is what makes people doubt the law. The law is working. But when you are doing the work a lot, and then you are also thinking the opposite story a lot, that's the classical back and forth. Your mind needs to stay in one place. And of course, you do have bad moments, you do have bad days, that's okay. No manifestation process is completely perfect from start to finish. All it is a training. You do it so many times until your mind gets so used to it and you notice it. If you check in with yourself, if you think of your desire on purpose, SP, money, whatever it is, what happens right there? Is it stress, fear? This is never going to happen? Because if it is, you simply haven't changed the story. If it's not, if it's your affirmations or something similar to your end goal that comes to mind, that is the first and one of the most important changes that needs to happen in order for the 3D to change. Because the 3D cannot do anything separate from you. And your person is sort of part of the 3D, but is also in no way separate from you. They can't act separate from your own story, from your own assumptions. And again, I want to repeat that beliefs and assumptions are trained. So if you're not automatically assuming that they are madly in love with you or that you are already together, it's okay. Now that you know that you're not automatically assuming that, you know that that's what you need to train. So you check in with yourself, bring the topic to mind on purpose and see what happens. Do you get freaked out? Or are you actually confident? That tells you where you are at. And that tells you if you're not there yet, it simply means that you just need to pay more attention to not do the back and forth and repeat the story in order to train your mind to know that this is now what we are working with. And that is basically it. And this is what it means when I say that your SP has nothing to do with your manifestation. You are the one who needs to change. And mostly we are the ones, the manifester is the person who resists the change. We call them stubborn, but we are mostly the stubborn ones who resist to change this story because we keep going over and over it again. Oh, but he did this, but she did this, and this or that, you know the story. That's you being stubborn. It's not them. And when you change your story, they have no choice. This is also what it means when we say there's no free will. People have no free will. People are you pushed out. What does this mean? It's your assumptions, your stories pushed out. When it's not happening in the 3D, you need to go back to source and ask yourself, but have I changed? And you just need to be honest with yourself, because you know what you're thinking, you know what you're believing, when you know what you are stressing about. And bring yourself back to the fact that my imagination is powerful enough to manifest whatever I want, even though the person rejected me, even though I have never had experience with money, even though I have never had this thing, whatever you're manifesting. It doesn't matter. Your mind doesn't go from what happened in the past. Even if some people freak out because they have been thinking negative thoughts for a long time, oh, did I ruin my manifestation? Your mind doesn't care what you did some time ago or even 5 minutes ago. Go from now. Take the now and apply what your desired outcome now. So it's from now on. Don't worry. Even if you have been thinking negative thoughts for a long time, don't get scared that, oh, now it has to manifest. It won't if you shift and you persist in the other story. So, but again, even if it did, even if something has already manifested in the 3D and it can look very messy, it doesn't matter. Your mind is not going to take that as basis either. It doesn't matter, because your mind is taking what you are telling it from now on and what you are persisting in and manifesting it. So even if you messed up, that doesn't stop your manifestation. So don't freak out, don't get stressed. Just know that you are the source of your manifestation. So if it's not happening, go back to self and ask yourself, but have I changed? Have I become the person who has this? How do you know? It's your thinking, it's your feelings also, but your feelings are a product of your thinking. So if you're constantly stressed, you can be very stressed and anxious and not really know what you're thinking, because that anxiety feeling state can make you feel foggy in the mind. But if the feeling is negative, you know that in your mind you're in a place that you actually don't want to be in. So you change the story. The same goes with your thinking. If you're constantly in your mind stressing out, that's not the place to manifest your desired outcome from. Stop that. So if you're doing that, you already know that. And this doesn't mean that your manifestation is so far away just because you're stressed out. It's not that. It's just that that's not what you want to be doing if you want something else. You change your story, you persist in it a little bit, and that becomes a habit. This is very important to remember, because just when I say that your belief is trained, your assumptions are trained, your thinking is trained, if you are having a lot of negative thoughts, a lot of freaking out and absolutely not believing it could possibly happen, you can't even see how it could possibly happen, which is not your job in any case. But if you're having negative thoughts all the time, you start changing the stories. How do you change the stories? By doing the techniques. That's what the techniques are for. And the more you do it, the more you create that habit. At some point, I promise you, if you persist in this, speaking of experience, of many manifestations, if you persist in that, at some point that becomes your normal thinking. You will not have to be affirming all day or keep imagining things all day on purpose to keep your mind in check, to control your mind. It's something you need to do at first, but at some point it just becomes your normal thinking. And I promise you, it makes life so much easier just in general. So if you haven't started already, start doing it now. If you're doing back and forth, you know what to do. And if you're constantly trying to figure out why is it not coming, why is it not here, you're in lack mindset. You stop doing that. You go back into imagination and you start telling the story the way you want to experience it. And if it's just a curiosity that comes up here and there, of course you notice the 3D here and there. Make sure you don't stay there. But whenever you think, why is this not happening? Why have they not changed? Why has this situation not changed? You need to go back to self and ask yourself, have I changed? Am I thinking the thoughts that a wealthy person would think about money, or am I constantly stressing? Or am I thinking the thoughts that myself in that beautiful relationship would be thinking? Or am I constantly trying to overanalyze what the other person is thinking, what they're doing without me, etc.? So this is simply your thinking is what needs to change. And with your thinking comes the feeling. For everyone who is concerned with the feeling, I hear a lot of people say, I can't feel the feeling. It doesn't matter. The feeling is something that will manifest once your mental focus is where it needs to be in order for you to experience your desire. So I hope that this was helpful for you. I hope this clarified and give you some tools. Manifestation is this wonderful thing where you don't depend on anything outside of you. It's all you. It's your thinking. Even when it's not happening, you can figure out why it's not happening by going back and figuring out what is happening in your mind. You fix that, and the 3D has to follow. This is a law. The law is of assumption, and the assumptions are yours. If you need a more personalized help with your manifestations, you can of course book a one-on-one coaching session with me from the link in the description box below. I would love to help you with anything that you are manifesting. You can also join my Master Manifestors Mastermind group, which is a consistent weekly support with your manifestations. In that case, please send me an email from my booking page so that we find a group that is comfortable for your time zone. Have a beautiful day and see you in the next video.